afternoon, and welcome to another new release Friday on Generation Movie and the Indie Escape Network. My name is JW Colwell, and I'm here to talk about some new movies that are opening on a weekend where there's something for everyone. You have GOAT coming out, which is for the kids. You have, Crime 101 coming out for the crime buffs, people who like movies like Heat. And then you have the two movies that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about Emerald Fennell's new film, Wuthering Heights, or adaptation of Emily Bronte. And then we're also going to talk about Gore Verbinski's new time travel allegory movie. It really can't be put into words. Good luck, have fun, don't die. This weekend's chance at a true cult film. But we're going to, first off, happy Valentine's Day weekend, everybody who's celebrating. Happy Friday the 13th Day, if you're a Jason fan. Regal Cinemas, by the way, is playing Friday the 13th movies. We have three Friday the 13th movies, three Friday the 13th this year, including one in February and one in March. Regal, every Friday the 13th, is bringing back some of the old Friday the 13th movies, so you can go see the Man in the Mask, Jason, kill hapless campers at Camp Crystal Lake. So happy Valentine's Day weekend. Let's start with Wuthering Heights. It's the movie getting all the buzz. It's got Margot Robbie. It's got Jacob Elordi, fresh off his Oscar nomination from Frankenstein. And it is the people are talking about the fact that it's in quotes, Wuthering Heights, because Fennell has kind of said that in her adaptation, she's written and directed this. She, of course, is of promising young woman, a promising young female, and also Saltburn. So she is super, super hot. And she is one of the best young directors we have going. She tells good stories. She has very important questions. And her adaptation of Wuthering Heights is a classic bodice ripper. It's R-rated, although I don't know necessarily why. But it stars Margot Robbie as Catherine and Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff, the classic people from the book who have come, who are raised together in a place called Wuthering Heights, kind of a dilapidated place where her father and she's lost her mother, and she has all these people around her, and Heathcliff is brought in as a poor orphan off the street, and they grow up together. They, of course, fall madly in love with one another, and set design, cinematography, costume design, all spectacular in this adaptation. I think where you're going to have problems is it's Wuthering Heights in quotes, right? It's just Wuthering Heights. And it's Emerald Fennell's, how she feels the book made her feel, right? And I think for the most part, it does what it's supposed to do. The unrequited love between Heathcliff and Kat. She, of course, picks to marry somebody else, which forces Heathcliff to go out into the world and earn a fortune so he can come back and kind of, hold it over her that she picked some... Actually, the person she marries is actually an okay person. He's not a bad person, doesn't treat her poorly, bathes her in riches and takes good care of her. She has nothing but the best and the finest. But he comes back to kind of like say you picked the ease of this life over true love. And that's what the book is about. It's got some, gripping romantic moments. It's got Breathless, In the Rain, everything you would expect from a romance film that is geared for Valentine's Day weekend. And it's good. It's not great. I don't think it's as good as Saltburn or Promising Young Woman. But I do think, I think for purists, they're going to have real problems. They changed a lot of the end material of the book. I will say that Margot Robbie is fantastic in the first half, and in the second half, she has very little to do except kind of pout and kiss Jacob Elordi, which, again, a lot of people aren't going to scoff at. That's a pretty good gig if you can get it. And then kind of cry about, like, her lot in life. But Elordi, Jacob Elordi, let's talk about him for a second. He's fantastic. He's really good as Heathcliff here. He is probably the best thing in the movie, aside from Hong Chow, who plays kind of a person that is around Catherine and Heathcliff their entire Nellie. She's the companion, and so it's it's got some scenes where that are gonna raise eyebrows. Maybe I think most of the scenes that are gonna raise eyebrows are when Heathcliff comes back and he's trying to get Catherine to be jealous, so he takes Mr. Linton's friend or sister or whatever Isabella is and marries her and takes over Wuthering Heights, where Kathy's father was, and kind of treats her like an animal in all kinds of ways, including allowing the servants to watch her, have sex with him. So it's the second half where the movie kind of buckles under its own weight, where it can't, the unrequited love plus all these other things. Robbie doesn't have a lot to do in the second half that she's great in the first half. And Elordi, by contrast, doesn't have a lot to do in the first half, being the, hulking, brooding Heathcliff. And then once Heathcliff goes away and comes back, he has a lot more to do because he gets to, woo Isabel, and he gets to, try to make Catherine jealous. And it's good. It's very stylized, hyper realized the way Fennell does her work. And I could easily see people saying it's the Saltburnization of this Emily Bronte classic. There is some BDSM stuff, along with the future interpretation of women being forced to wear corsets, things like that, where it has an excellent feminist spark that makes it Fennell's own, but could end up upsetting people who just want the classic story retold. It's been retold upwards of 5 times. We've had BBC versions, we've had American versions, we've had old British theater version. There have been so many versions of this movie that Fennell has to make it her own, and when she does, it could be the kind of thing where people get really upset with the interpretation, or that it's too broad, or that maybe a character like Nellie shouldn't be as prominent as she is throughout the film because she's not as prominent in the book. Maybe Isabella shouldn't be treated quite as poorly as she's treated, although she's treated a little bit poorly in the book. Everything's kind of taken to an 11 with regards to those key plot points. But like I said, it's people are not going to be disappointed with the heaving bosoms of Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie if that's what they're going for this weekend. It has all of that. It has the bright visuals. It has the incredible set design. Wuthering Heights looks like the fall of the House of Usher. It absolutely looks stunning in its take and how dilapidated it gets, and how the dilapidation kind of also courses through the veins of the characters that stay there or come to live there or leave there. It kind of courses through. And the characters that you think are good characters do get short shrift. There's good performances are had by Hong Chow as Nellie. Also, they do what they can with what they have. Edgar Linton is played by Shahzad Latif. He's very good as well, and but he is forced to play second fiddle to Jacob Elordi with earring, with looking amazing. Of course, they go through some of the things. There's a funeral that's very, kind of stifling, and then it becomes another place where Heathcliff and Catherine, where she cheats on her husband, and he kind of gets her into a regular kind of role of doing that. And like I said, it's well done if that's what you're looking for. I don't know if you're a lover of the book or any of the other interpretations, if you're going to love this one as much, because it's her filmmaking. When she puts Wuthering Heights in quotes, she is a filmmaker of particular style, a particular way she does business. And with this movie, she finds the way she's going to do it is taking it to an 11, which I think for people that might just be looking for an adaptation of the source material might not be your cup of tea. But if your cup of tea is Heaving Bosoms of Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi blew me away. He was really, really good. He's got a lot to do. He's got a lot of heavy lifting to do in the second half of the movie. And as his career continues, what a year of films that are being released. He gets the Oscar nomination for Frankenstein. Here he plays Heathcliff, so he's played two of the greatest literary creations ever. And it's his second film with Emerald Fennell. And I just think he is very much on pace to be a big, big star in the next 2-3 years, as we not that he's not big now. It's just that he's about to become bigger. This is the kind of movie that launches people into a stratosphere where, people just gravitate towards his projects. This will be a big opening for him. Robbie is used to openings. She's a big star in her own right. And she's great. She's good as Catherine. She has a unique way of looking at the world, and she's kind of petulant, and everything you would expect from Catherine. It works for Wuthering Heights. It's not a perfect adaptation, but it is a very good one, and I think it's going to hit with certain audiences. Although the adaptation is not going to hit with audiences that are looking for a strict adaptation of the source material. Okay, some comments. Good afternoon, Joe Ridgely. Just talking some movies today. And speaking of talking movies, let's get to our next movie. And that movie is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And so rarely do we come upon a multiplex offering that you immediately feel in your heart and soul will become a cult film. This movie, starring Sam Rockwell as the man from the future, is fantastic. Now, that is not to say it does not have flaws. That is not to say it is perfect. It is not. But what it does have is a compelling thought process to it. And Sam Rockwell plays the man from the future in Gore Verbinski's new time travel movie, and basically comes from the future to a diner on a particular night where the diners are told that he has a bomb and that he needs some of them to volunteer to save the future. And so, you have to get over the how he looks is at best homeless vagrant. But as he puts it, this is couture from the future where I come from. And basically it is a character movie that has elements of great sci-fi movies from the past. And the two, everybody's talking about 12 Monkeys, and that's great. That is true. It does have, because 12 Monkeys had Bruce Willis going back in time to try to stop a virus from being released on the world. It does have a 12 Monkeys vibe to it. But the other movie that it really has, with its acerbic, witty, satire-based script by Matthew Robinson, who did Love and Monsters, is the other movie that it's going to get the comparison I'm going to make right now, is it has a huge They Live vibe. They Live was made in the 80s by John Carpenter, starred Roddy Piper, and it's just one of the great 80s sci-fi movies. But it's about aliens that come to our planet. They're taking over our planet by making us consume and making us breed and all these other things, where it's all done subliminally until Roddy Piper gets the glasses. He can't see what the actual messages are on our television, on our newspapers, on our magazines. And so basically, there is a great acerbic wit to this movie, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, that is dealing with the internet culture that we're in. It deals with AI. It deals with giving up your place in the universe to sit and click and hunt and only focus on the internet or AI or whatever. So it has bigger aspirations going on. And like I said, the posters for this movie are hilarious. This one in particular with Sam Rockwell. But what I want to say is it's not perfect. It gets a little, the structure of the script is introduction, person who joins the team, their days leading up to their place in Norm's Diner, and then it goes back to the present where they have a mission to stop a child from creating AI. And this is the child, and this is the AI, the pyramid, the evil pyramid that you see on phones, and you see it's all over the place. And it's an AI, it's a singularity that basically Sam Rockwell is trying to beat, and you find out that it's his 117th mission. He's picked several different people from the diner. They're all the same people on all the same night. He comes back the exact same day, trying to get them because they have to stop the singularity on a particular day. And so it gets a little bogged down in the backstories. But where it doesn't get bogged down is once those backstories are out there, they all come together to fuse this wonderful, amazing action sci-fi comedy. It all comes together, and the cast is impeccable. Like you'll see here, Sam Rockwell's the leader, but it also has Haley Lou Richardson, who's fantastic. She's currently in Ponies. It has Michael Pena, the hidden gem of the Ant-Man movies. It has Zazie Betts, who is in Deadpool 2, and Juno Temple from Ted Lasso. And so all of their stories, Pena and Zazie Betts play teachers. Juno Temple plays a mother who has lost her child in a school shooting. Haley Lou Richardson is a girl that is suicidal, who is basically contemplating suicide, and who has an allergic reaction to technology and Wi-Fi. She has nosebleeds every time she's around Wi-Fi. All of their stories come together, and Sam Rockwell is fantastic as always. He is one of our best working actors. And this movie, it relies heavily on his comedy, his charisma, the idea that he's this traveler from the future that's coming and trying to get a band together to beat the AI singularity before it reaches sentience, is essentially where we go. It deals with cell phones. It deals with AI. It deals with foregoing our human nature and our human culture to sit behind a phone or sit behind a computer, even though I'm on a computer today. And it's about human connection. So it has other things going on. It also has the sights you will see in this movie in the last 45 minutes are great. It runs a little long, which is the story of this year, I guess. Wuthering Heights runs over 220. This runs like 207, give or take. It's the story of this year. Everything's running a little bit long. As we progress towards December, when we get Avengers and Dune, they'll be like 3.5 hours. But so it all progresses to all of these people coming together and fighting this singularity, and the idea that sometimes our AI life or our internet life or our online life seems better than our real life, and we need to get away from the screens. In that way, I think the fusion is not just 12 Monkeys, which is coming back from the future to solve a problem in the past before it happens. It has 12 Monkeys in it. But the other mix, I think, the key mix, the player answer mix, is that it is 12 Monkeys and they live. Because it has a healthy satire and a healthy dose of looking ourselves in the mirror, kind of a sci-fi action comedy. And if you haven't seen They Live, I by all means go out and watch it. It's one of the best. It has the single greatest fight scene, one of the single greatest fight scenes ever put on film, and also, and it's just two people fighting in an alley. It's great. But also, this movie has intelligence. It has wit. The structure's a little wonky because it takes away from the pacing a little bit. So when we get a character, we know the character's going to be focused on, it goes back in time and shows you their days leading up to their inevitable destination of Norm's Diner. And so that slows proceedings down a bit, but it allows for the characters to kind of flourish. And it would be one thing if it slowed things down and then you don't get a payoff, but the payoff is pretty great with all the connective tissue between the characters, what they're all trying to do. It has a lot to say about school shootings. It has a lot to say about how we react to school shootings. It's got a lot going on in its script, and that sometimes makes the best sci-fi action comedies. It's got the time travel element, of course. Where Sam Rockwell's coming. He's only referred to as the man from the future. He never has a name in the movie, which is fantastic. I could easily see it becoming one of the Halloween costumes of the year. I think this movie has potential. This Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die has the most potential of any movie I've seen in the last, I'm going to say 3 or 4 years, to become a cult classic. It's that good. It's because, again, it's got a great Rockwell performance. It's got a great cast of really good actors that you already know. Juno Temple from Ted Lasso, Zazie Betts. It's got Michael Pena, who's just a gem of an actor. And Haley Lou Richardson, who's in Ponies now, she's great. It has a bangarang ending, and then it may or may not call for a sequel. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to choose to do. But it's really good. It's a really good amalgamation. When the people talk about unoriginal, it's very original, but it's also very cognizant of past sci-fi comedies that have come before it. And I just think it has great potential of becoming one of the great cult films of all time. Like it's that good. Like I enjoyed it. I can't wait to see it again. Just to see what I missed, or because it is a time travel movie, those key points where, people say something or like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? How did you do that? How did you know about this? Being able to go back and see it again and piece it together. And, actually with time travel movies upon rewatching, being able to figure out if it is as good as we think it is. One of the things that happens with time travel movies is when we watch them, they're good. But what if they're not as good as we actually think they are? Right? Sometimes they fall in on themselves, and upon rewatch, you're like, oh, that doesn't work as well. Or like if you rewatch Back to the Future, it always holds up. So I think this movie has potential to do that. And like I said, the key combination is that it's 12 Monkeys sprinkled with the satire and the acerbic condemnation that is the amazing John Carpenter movie, They Live. Those are the two movies I was thinking about. 12 Monkeys is an easy one, but They Live, I think it's satire of consumerism. It's satire of the Republican Party. It's satire of all the things that Carpenter was railing against in that movie is present in this movie. But it also has a human tone where it's trying to tell people to get themselves out of their seats. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think I like it better than Wuthering Heights. But again, this is a movie designed for me. It's got Sam Rockwell. It's about time travel, and fighting an AI singularity that looks this cool. By the way, that's a child at the top creating the AI, so he has to stop a 9-year-old child that's going to give this singularity sentience. It's fun. Gore Verbinski has done a great job. Matthew Robinson is also somebody we have to watch now as a screenwriter. He is responsible for the storyline. He's responsible for everything. And he's got some, he made The Invention of Lying, Jerk, Monster Trucks, Door in the Lost City of Gold, Love and Monsters, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And he has another movie coming out now called 11817. He also did some episodes of Black Box and The Power Inside. He's a good young screenwriter. And I think he's somebody we have to watch now. And Gore Verbinski does a good job coming back from an absence. He hasn't been around for a decent amount of time. Like I think it's 10 years since we've last had a Gore Verbinski movie. Cure for Wellness. Made in 2016. So he's been away for 10 years. This is a bangarang way to come back, Gore. Congrats. Good Luck, Don't Die in theaters this weekend. And that's it. That's a wrap. I want to get in, get out, give you new release Fridays, things I'm going to see. Remember, there's other movies open. Crime 101, GOAT. You got Wuthering Heights, and you got Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. All something for everyone this Valentine's Day weekend. If you like our stuff, please like and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, IMDb, all of those places to find us. You can get all of our shows, and you can see me on Monday nights. Generation Movie. We have some Oscar movies coming up. I think Rich and I are going to do some of the worst Oscar Best Picture winners of all time in the next 3 weeks before we get to the Oscars. And then you can also find me on Tuesday nights on Loud and Nerdy, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining me for New Release Friday. We will see everybody next week. And in 2 weeks, we have Scream 7. Woo! Have a great day, everybody. Go see some movies. Happy Valentine's Day to all that celebrate. Happy Galentine's Day to all the ladies that celebrate with their friends. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Find a movie to watch and stay safe.